Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayana Namaskrityam
Naranchaiva Narottamam
Narachaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam
Tato Jayamudiraye
Tadayamutime
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nashta Prayeshu Samudreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavate Uttamasloke
Bhagavate Uttam Sloke
Bhaktin Bhavadir Naistiti
Bhaktim Bhagavate Nabhati
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Sam
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Nandagopala Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namaha.
Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Today we are going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, text number 16, 2, 4, 16. The canto name is The Cosmic Manifestation and the chapter name is The Process of Creation. Please repeat the sloka behind me. Vicakṣaṇā yac-caraṇopasādanāt.
vicakṣaṇā yac-caraṇopasādanāt.
saṅgam vyudasyobhayato ntar-ātmanaḥ. Ntar-ātmanaḥ.
saṅgam vyudasyobhayato antaḥ-ātmanaḥ. ntar-ātmanaḥ.
Vindanti brahma-gatiṁ gata-klamās.
Vindanti brahma-gatiṁ gata-klamās.
Tasmai subhadra-śravase namo namaḥ.
Tasmai subhadra-śravase namo.
Word by word meaning. Please repeat behind me. Vicakṣaṇāḥ.
vicakṣaṇāḥ.
Highly intellectual. Yat. Whose. caraṇa-upasādanāt.
caraṇa-upasādanāt.
Simply dedicating oneself
Simply dedicating oneself
unto the lotus feet.
unto the lotus feet.
Saṅgam.
Saṅgam.
Attachment.
Attachment.
Vyudasya.
Vyudasya.
Giving up completely.
Giving up completely.
Ubhayataḥ.
Ubhayataḥ.
For present and future existence.
For present and future existence.
Antaḥ-ātmanaḥ.
Antaḥ-ātmanaḥ.
Of the heart and soul.
Of the heart and soul.
Vindanti.
Vindanti.
Moves progressively.
Moves progressively.
He. Certainly.
Certainly.
Brahma-gatim.
Brahma-gatim.
Towards spiritual existence.
Towards spiritual existence.
Gata-klamāḥ.
Gata-klamāḥ.
Without difficulty.
Without difficulty.
Tasmai.
Tasmai.
Unto him.
Unto him.
Subhadra. all-auspicious.
all-auspicious.
Śravase. Unto one who is heard.
Unto one who is heard.
Namaḥ. My due obeisances.
My due obeisances.
Namaḥ. Again and again. Translation. Please repeat behind me. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Channa of the A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Please repeat behind me. Let me offer my respectable obeisances,
respectful obeisances,
again and again,
again
unto the all-auspicious
unto the
all-auspicious
Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa,
Lord Śrī
Śrī Kṛṣṇa,
the highly intellectual,
the highly
the
intellectual,
simply by surrender.
simply by surrendering. My voice is breaking, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Your voice is breaking, Prabhuji. Now it is
Is clear, Mataji, now?
now it is clear.
Okay. Simply by surrendering unto
Simply by surrendering unto
his lotus feet,
His lotus feet,
or relieved of
are relieved of
all attachments
all attachments
to present
to present
and future existence,
and future existences,
and without difficulty
and without difficulty
progress towards
progress toward
spiritual existence.
spiritual existence.
Purport. Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa has repeatedly instructed Arjuna, or for that matter, everyone concerned with becoming his unalloyed devotee. In the last phase of his instruction in the Bhagavad Gita 18.64 to 66, he instructed most confidentially as follows. Sarva guhyatamamam sarva guhyatamamam bhuyaham shranume paramam vachaham isto asime dridam iti tato vakshyami te hitam manmana bhavamadbhakto matyaji mam namaskuru mam evaisyasi satyam te prajani prayosi amihi sarvadharman parityajya mam yegam saranam vraja agam tvam sarva papepyo mokshasyami ma suchaham. My dear Arjuna, you are very dear to me, and therefore only for your good I will disclose the most secret part of my instructions. It is simply this: become a pure devotee of mine and give yourself unto me only, and I promise you full spiritual existence by which you may gain the eternal right of transcendental loving service unto me. Just give up all other ways of religiosity and exclusively surrender unto me, and believe that I will protect you from your sinful acts, and I shall deliver you. Do not worry anymore. Person who are intelligent take serious notice of these last instructions of the Lord. Knowledge of the self is the first step in spiritual realization, which is called confidential knowledge. And a step further is God realization, which is called more confidential knowledge. The culmination of the knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, is God realization. And when one attains this stage of God realization, he naturally, voluntarily becomes a devotee of the Lord to render him loving transcendental service. This devotional service to the Lord is always based on love of God and is distinct from the nature of routine service as prescribed in Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, or Dhyana Yoga. In Bhagavad Gita, there are different instructions for such men or of different categories. And there are various descriptions for Varnashrama Dharma, Sannyasa Dharma, Yati Dharma, the renounced order of life, controlling the senses, meditation, perfection of mystic power, etc. But one who fully surrenders unto the Lord to render service unto him, out of spontaneous love for him, factually assimilates the essence of all knowledge described in the Vedas. One who adopts this method very skillfully attains perfection of life at once. And this perfection of human life is called brahma-gatiṁ, or the progressive march in spiritual existence. And initiated by Srila Jiva Goswami on the basis of Vedic assurances, brahma-gati means to attain the spiritual form as good as that of the Lord, and in that form, the liberated living being eternally lives at one of the spiritual planets situated in the spiritual sky. Attainment of this perfection of life is easily available to a pure devotee of the Lord without his undergoing any difficult method of perfection. Such a devotional life is full of kirtanam, smaranam, ikṣanam, etc. As mentioned in the previous verse. One must therefore adopt this simple way of devotional life in order to attain the highest perfection available in any category of the human form of life, in any part of the world. When Lord Brahma met Lord Krishna as a playful child at Vrindavana, he offered his prayer in which he said, Shreyatha Sritam Bhaktim Udasyate Vibho Klishyanti Ye Kevala Bodha Lobdaye Tesham Ashu Kleshana Eva Sisyate Nanyat Yatastula Tusab Bhagatinam. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.4. Bhakti Yoga is the highest quality of perfection to be achieved by the intelligent person in lieu of perfection, a large quantity of spiritual activities. The example cited here is very appropriate. A handful of real paddy is more valuable than heaps of paddy skins without any substance within. Similarly, one should not be attracted by the jugglery of karma kanda or jnana kanda or even the gymnastic performance of yoga, but skillfully should take to the simple performances of kirtanam, smaranam, etc. under a bona fide spiritual master and without any difficulty attain the highest perfection. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavad Pashasya Deshatarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So again, this is continuation of the previous sloka, whatever we had discussed, that Parishit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami were discussing, and Parishit Maharaj asking to give the knowledge about the creation, the cosmic creation, how it is created. These questions he asked after the asked by Parishit Maharaj. Sukadeva Goswami started answering. So before answering that questions, he was worshipping the Lord, because after all these creations created by the Lord. So before explaining that how it got created, he was invoking the auspiciousness by remembering the Lord, and he was offered his obeisances unto the Lord. So today also in this sloka also he was offering his obeisances to the Lord. So what he is glorifying the Lord. So how he is glorifying? So Sukadeva Goswami is saying that, let me offer my respectable obeisances again and again unto the all-auspicious Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. So again he was doing obeisances to the Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa again and again. And he was saying about Śrī Kṛṣṇa, the highly intellectual. He's the highly intellectual. So why we are calling him highly intellectual? We are not calling our mundane people as a highly intellectual. There are so many people in this world. We are calling them as a intellectual person, highly intellectual person. He's Albert Einstein. They are all highly intellectual person. But those people are cannot be compared with the Lord, because they are very, very minute particle. Whatever they discovered, whatever they just discovered. They discovered in the sense, whatever already existed, whatever the creation of the Lord, that they just discovered from that. That's all. That's why it is not created by them, it is discovered by them. In this material world, everything is a discovery. Nothing can be created by anyone. Because if you wanted to create anything, we may need to use the substance, whatever already created by the Lord. Earth, water, fire, ether. Any of the things, substance, with this combination only, we can create anything new. So without this, we cannot do anything. And also the subtle element like mind, intelligence, and false ego. So all these things is combined, then only we can do. But all this all are created by the Lord. So this creation is this much big. Without that, we cannot do anything. And what the creation? We need to wonder how is God created this cycle of this material world. It is first it is getting created. It is staying for some time. It is getting annihilated for some time. And the sun and moon, it is coming to a particular period, particular time. Earth is revolving at the particular time. So how these are all the wonders, right? So why the earth need to move? First, we need to understand why it is supposed to move. So we are thinking, science, we are saying that earth is moving 24 hours, it is taking exactly 24 hours, it is taking, and every day it is rotating. Why it is rotating? Why it is supposed to rotate? And what is the source of the rotation? We don't know. So this is all beyond our understanding. So that's the reason the creator is a very intellectual person. That's why we are glorifying here. Shukadeva Goswami is glorifying the Supreme Lord as a highly intellectual person. Nobody can beat him in this material world or in any other material world. No, none of them, even the spiritual world. He is the topmost intellectual person. So that is the way we are glorifying the Supreme Lord. So what we need to do, if somebody very intellectual, then what we need to do? We are not that much intelligent. What we need to do? We need to just simply surrender into the person, lotus feet of that person. What will happen? So he will do that. He will relieve us from all the attachments to the present and the future existence. And without difficulty, we can progress to the spiritual existence. So if you are surrendering unto the person who is in the material world, the person, even though you are surrendering, you are fully surrendered to the person, particular person, and you are doing the service to the person. But that person he may need to go through birth, death, old age, and disease. He is not a permanent person. So it is not worth to surrender to a person. Because anyway, one day he is going to die. After that, what will happen? Nothing will happen. See, there are many famous people were in this world. From Gandhiji, Nehruji, and so many prime ministers, chief ministers, presidents. So under them, there are many servants they worked. So they have the proud when those people were alive, when they were in the power. So those who are all the servants of them, personal servants of them, they were very much puffed up, and they are feeling that we are top of the world. We are serving directly to this special person who is the highest post in the material world. But once they come out from the post and once they left this material world, what will happen to that person, those person? He cannot say, he may say that, okay, I was there before, as I was serving this person, that person. But later, such kind of persons are coming again and again. So the person who was in the maybe some 50, 60 years back, nobody knows that person. Nobody thinking about that person. So that is the way. So if you surrender to the highest person in this material world, it is not going to take us anywhere. So to whom we need to surrender? So surrender to the person who is always there in this, eternally who is there. So who will be there eternally? That's the only one person who is going to be there eternally, which is Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the other living entities are going to, in this world is a condition to get into the path of birth and death and cycles. So even the topmost Satyaloka, where Brahma is staying, even his place also not, he himself is under the clutches of this birth and death cycle. So we cannot surrender to the person who is the topmost, who is next to the Lord, who is also treated similar to the Lord. Even that person also we cannot surrender. So if you want to surrender, we can surrender only the person who is the Supreme Lord, who is the highly intellectual. Supreme Lord, all-auspicious Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. So that's what here Shukadeva Goswami is saying. So what he will do? Once we surrender, what will happen to us? Once we surrender fully ourselves, without any false ego, we surrender unto him fully, what will happen? All of our attachment, from present attachment and the future existence will be, our progress in the bhakti will be guaranteed. Without any difficulty, it will move. So that is the way, because once you surrender to the Supreme Lord, you going back to Godhead is guaranteed. There is no other chances to, unless we are downgrade ourselves with another attraction in the material world or by the Maya or by the illusion. There is no chance we may be there in this material world permanently. So once we surrender unto him, going back to the Godhead is guaranteed. There are so many examples in the history we can see. It is not necessary we need to born as a very intelligent person, or we need to born in the very aristocrat family, Brahmana family, Vaisnava family, then only we can be a devotee. This is not the case. For bhakti, there is only the qualification. We should have the desire to have the love of Godhead to get into the path of bhakti. That is the only thing, only qualification. There is no other qualification is required for bhakti. We can see the example of in our Karnataka itself. There is a great saint, Dasa. When he was in Udupi, the Udupi temple, the Lord means he was standing towards the east direction, and he was during that time there was the untouchability, the low born, high born, high family born, means the brahmanas, and there are different caste system was very stringent that time. So the low born people cannot go enter into the temple. So Dasa, he was a great devotee of the Lord. He sung so many poems for the Lord, to glorify the Lord. So he was trying to enter to the temple, and the high caste brahmanas, they not allowed him inside the temple. He threw him out. So he was very unhappy, and he was coming back to the temple, and from there he was crying and he was singing towards the Lord. What happened? Immediately, Lord Krishna himself, he turned from the east direction to west direction, and there was the big walls. The walls got broken. He gave his darshan to Dasa, who is standing outside of the temple. Even though he is born as the low caste person, since the love towards the Lord is enormous for him, so because of that, because Lord is sitting inside our heart as an Antaryami, he is standing inside of our heart as a Paramatma, so he knows the intention of the person, intention of the devotees. So Dasa, he don't have any attachment in this material world. He want only the love of Godhead. Because of that, the Lord Krishna, when in Udupi temple, he turned his direction from east to west. And today also, in the present time also, the east gate is closed till now. The Lord is focusing on the west gate, western direction. And we also cannot see, because through the main door, we need to see the Lord through the small window, one door. So this is the glorification. This is the glorify of the pure devotees of the Lord. Even though they are the low born, and even in the human mentality, people are not having the mentality of high born, low born, all those activities. But Lord won't see he is the high born, he is the low born. Only the high born people need to come to me. They can do the pure devotional service. It's not like that. Lord will accept the pure devotional service from any of the persons. So this is Dasa is one of the example for that. And another example we can see in Pandharpur, there is a great devotee called Chokamela. So Chokamela, he's also a low born caste. He born in the low caste family, and he's also not allowed. He's a great devotee of the Panduranga. So he wanted to visit Pandharpur, but because of his low birth in the low caste, so he's not allowed during that time. In the 14th century, he's not allowed into the temple. But he is a great devotee of the Lord. He attracted by the Namadeva, the teachings of Namadev. Namadev is another great devotee of the Lord. During that time, he used to preach about the Supreme Lord and his activities, and make the people become devotees. So that time he was attracted by the teachings of Namadeva, and he got initiated by Namadeva. And but since he was a low born, he unable to enter the temple. He was staying on the other side of the Chandrabhaga river. He made a small hut. He was staying there, and he was doing some works there. And one day he was doing this big pillar. He's constructing work. He was doing that. He has a big wall. They are making the big wall. During that time, the wall suddenly it got crushed and fell on them. So the workers fell. They were crushed by the big wall, and everybody died there. But later, the people, when they visited that place, then they saw that even though Namdev died there, only his bones were there. His bones were chanting the Panduranga, Vittala, Vittala, Panduranga, Vittala, Vittala, Panduranga, like that. His bones were chanting. And he has the great, the bones wanted to visit Pandharpur. That's the way he was longing to reach Pandharpur. That's the bones. Only the bones were there. He left the body. Only the bones were there. Since the bones are also chanting the holy name of the Lord. So by hearing that, the great devotees, what they did, they brought that bones and they buried in front of the temple. So today also, in front of the Pandharpur temple, in front of Panduranga temple, there's a small temple is there for him, Chokamela. So after after worshipping, after giving our obeisances to Chokamela, then only we can enter to the temple. So that is these are all the great devotees. They were lived in during that time. So for to get the love of Godhead, only our desires and our endeavor is needed. And in Kali Yuga, only the Bhakti Yoga. These devotees, their means, if you see Dasa and Chokamela, how they serve the Lord. They not serve the Lord building big temples. No. What they did, they simply did the Bhakti Yoga, chanting the holy name of the Lord and worshipping the Lord through their abhangs, through their poems. They wrote so many poems, glorify the Lord. Just that's it, they did. So it is very simple. In Kali Yuga, it is very simple to get the love of Godhead, just following the Bhakti Yoga. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam also, Brahma is saying, what he is saying that if you, whatever the performance you are doing through your karma yoga, jnana yoga, and gymnastic performance of just yoga, bending here and there, nothing going to work. What we need to do, simply follow the Bhakti Yoga, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. That's all. That's enough. That's enough to reach the perfect stage. So that's what even Brahma also recommending, that Bhakti Yoga. So the Bhakti, and even the Lord also saying in Bhagavad Gita, as stated by Srila Prabhupada, 64 to 66, 18th chapter 64 to 66. This is the whole and soul essence of Bhagavad Gita. After hearing all those things, finally Lord, what he is saying, that you become my devotee. So he is giving instruction, Arjuna, simply become my pure devotee and surrender unto me. I will take care, I will remove all your sins, don't fear. And leave all other religious activities. That's what Krishna is saying. So just simply surrender unto the Lord and just glorify the Lord. Do the Bhakti Yoga. Just Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Just hear about the Lord. Just do the Kirtan about the Lord. Chant the holy name. We can attain the perfection. Because there are so many examples in the history we can see. It is not only the examples in the Bhagavatam. It is examples we saw the Chokamela, we saw Dasa. They were very recent in our, maybe some few hundred years back only they lived. Because this Bhagavatam and all, it is many, some yugas before some pastimes happened. Those and all, we may not aware. But the recent pastime, this Dasa, Chokamela, Sant Tukaram, there are so many devotees pastimes. We can understand that the love of Godhead, it is, to attain the love of God, it is very easy through Bhakti Yoga. So we have to practice the only Bhakti Yoga. That is an intelligent person will catch this path. Which path? To Bhakti Yoga path. We don't want to attach this material world. We will understand that this material world is full of nuisance. So our only aim is to get the love of Godhead. That is the very easy mean, is catch hold of Bhakti Yoga is a very easy mean. From that we can go back to Godhead. So that is the very easy way. And see, even the Bhagavatam, the great literature, we are glorifying our many historical, even the demigods glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam. We are saying the scriptures are saying, if you have this Bhagavatam in your home, that is even that it is compared to the Krishna, even the demigods will come and worship in our home, who worship the people who was having this Bhagavatam at home. So that is the level of this Bhagavatam. And who compiled this Bhagavatam? He is also not a Brahmana. He is born for a fisherwoman. His mother was a fisherwoman. So it is not, there is no qualification is required to get the love of Godhead. And who wrote the Ramayana? Valmiki wrote the Ramayana. Even Valmiki, before writing Ramayana, he was doing the robbery. He was a thief. His name was Ratnagar. So he was not able to chant the holy name of the Lord also. And for him, Lord sent the Narada Muni there. And by the causeless mercy of the Lord, he chanted Mara, 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 Mara. Later he became Rama, Rama, Rama. He wrote he compiled the Ramayana, entire Ramayana he compiled. And he is now, Ramayana also one of our Idigasa, we reading that, we are getting the knowledge from them, from that book, that great scriptures. But that person is not a higher caste or the high qualified person. He was a thief. So if you see all of our this kind of such a things, there is for devotional service, there is no qualification except our endeavor towards and our desire and our love towards the Lord. That is the only thing is required. There is no other qualification is required to get into the Bhakti Yoga. So the Bhakti Yoga is the only easy mean in Kali Yuga to go back to Godhead. So intelligent person will catch word of that and they will get the love of Godhead and they will go back to Godhead as early as possible. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Hare Krishna.